2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Everybody, welcome to Teaching Crypto. Back better than ever, right before the new year. Happy holidays to everybody. Please hit that like, subscribe, bell notification, and super chats are available. Stores open. Any way you can support the show, we greatly appreciate it. And Mr. FOMO, this is very exciting here because we've got a very, I believe, short dip here in the market. And we're going to talk about some things that need to be talked about here. As you know, if you don't pay attention to crypto market, things sometimes go up fast and you don't even realize it. And it's stuff that we've talked about on the show. But first, we're going to talk about Bitcoin and how this might be your version and our version of the holiday hole. And it's going to be very brief. Go ahead.
Yeah, to me, this is just really healthy. I don't see the big problem here. We fell down to 42. We've been lower than that. We've been lower than that recently. And again, this is just us building strength leading into the halving next year. There's a lot of good news out there. And it looks like we predicted back in July and August, it looks like we're lining ourselves up for the perfect storm when this bull run rolls around, or when this halving event rolls around. I'm going to stop sharing this. I'm going to go ahead and bring up this story from the Motley Fool, but this is something that we all already know, is that the Fed will cut interest rates 6 times in 2024. And so starting in probably January and February, at least February, like we called, you're going to see the Fed starting to cut rates. You've got the halving event coming up in April. And so you're having all these things sort of team up, and it looks like this bull run could be pretty explosive very early on based on just this early movement before this ETF announcement. And then you also have, like I said, that perfect storm brewing with that ETF announcement, probably January 8th or 10th, somewhere in there. I think they were saying. You called it from the very beginning, before they even said it was going to be January 10th. You said January 10th it was going to be there. And so you have this storm brewing of exponential growth, especially for not just Bitcoin, but a lot of these cryptos that we talk about that have extremely small market caps. These things are going to run. And I want people to understand that we've been giving you these tips since, for the last year, that it was time to start filling your bags, time to start packing your bags, because we're about to get on this trip. And if you want to go with us, you need to have your bags packed. And here we are really about to take off. And so I see this as a positive thing, this little lull in the market. It builds strength at this level, but it also gives us a time to buy some more cheap Satoshis before we take off.
Yeah, and I think this is it, guys. Really, January 10th, I think we're going to see an approval. Now, some people might say, might you get a small sell-off after the ETF? Maybe a little bit, but also remember, I'm predicting a 50K Bitcoin in January. So, you know, the sell-off here, you might go to 50 and then go back down to 45 and then kind of just play around for a little bit and then go way back up in February and to shoot. I mean, 2024 is going to be vastly different to 2022, 2023. So if you're new to the market, you want to keep that in mind. This is really the time. Now think about this, guys. Over the summer during our shows, we're talking about Solana, right? And, you know, is it ever going to get above 30, right? Is it a good time to buy? Well, guess what? Yes, hell yeah, it was a great time to buy. Because if you look now, and this is just the 1 month chart right here, okay? You see what's going on here with Solana. I mean, it's just been crazy. And this is one that, you know, it was like, I talked about being a good flip between 55 and 80. Well, in my wildest dreams that I think we're going to go in the 120 area this far. And now we've come back a little bit, right? You see it at 105, you know, might be, if you are out of Solana and you might want to come back in the next week or so, might be a good time to DCA. And is this thing going to flip to 150 to 200 overnight? No. But I can tell you what, over the next 3 months, you're not going to see it at 105. Now, the market cap has gotten significantly higher, right? So just, kind of take that with when you make that decision here is it's not going to go as quick here. But I think this is one you're going to want to have during the bull run for sure for stability. We've talked about ETH, we talked about Bitcoin, but this is shaping up for one. And if I can get it under 100 over the next 48 hours, not financial advice, entertainment purposes only, I might truly consider that. And again, you're not going to see a 10 to 100x from here, but what you're going to see is very sustainable, stable growth here.
Yeah, and I like this one because, like you said, it's got sustainable, stable growth. You're not going to see these huge sell-offs. It's one that you can count on to be another cornerstone of your portfolio. It will provide you some strength with that market cap while you can go and speculate on some lower market caps like we're going to talk about today. You talked about the Bitcoin ETF, and some people are worried that there might be some buy the rumor, sell the news. I am one who thinks that January, after that ETF is announced, you'll see a bit of a sell-off. I don't think it's going to be crazy, though. I think what you'll see is a bit of a sell-off because that's just how people react in the crypto market. They do buy the rumor and sell the news. And so there will be some people that do that without question. It's guaranteed because that's how crypto traders react. However, after that, you go into February with those Fed rate cuts. You've got that ETF rolling now for a month. You've got the halving event coming up. It's going to come back. And so even if we do have some buy the rumor, sell the news, it'll give you another opportunity to dip back into the market. And the thing you were mentioning about Solana, that it's not going to keep, you won't get a 10 or 100x, but you did mention something there that I think
Well,
is
I did
key.
want to show really quickly just the all-time chart, and it gives you a different perspective. We're still pretty far from the all-time highs. I do expect Solana to hit an all-time high in 2024. So a 3x now, that's realistic, and especially
Yeah.
to get under 100, we'll see. There was bound to be a sell-off here, and this is again. We'll talk about this more in a couple days. We talk about our must-haves during the bull run. This is something I would really consider, like I said, because you'll have multiple chances to take profits. It's all about taking profits. And absolutely, and we'll talk about Muse in a little bit because it's already run since we talked about it. But again, when we were talking about Solana, it was in the 20s. That's the thing. It's so if you, and a couple of you reached out to me saying, I'm glad you guys brought that up. Yeah, I'm glad, and hopefully you guys took profits.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is, in the crypto market, you don't always have to hang on to something forever, right? We talk about never being married to a project, especially some of these altcoins, and you're perfectly okay if you hang on to that for a long time. But if nobody is perfect at buying the dip and selling the tip, but if you are playing it that way, you can negate some of those dips when you have exponential growth. So when you saw it run to 120 recently, you could have taken profits, pulled back, and waited for this pullback in the market and then gone back in. And that way you're not subject to all those dips. And now you're building your bag mostly on those rising events or on those gains, and you're taking yourself out of those lulls. Now, nobody is perfect at this, but Solana by itself is one of the most held or longest held cryptos in the market, and their average hold time, even on Coinbase, is only 223 days. And so you're not talking about something that people are going to hold for 10 years for the most part. This is something that people plan on getting rid of sometime in the next 6 months, right? You can even be better than that when you see these exponential rises to go ahead and pull back some of your money, protect some of your profits. And when you see the market dip back down like this, you can go back in. So you don't always have to ride this all the way. And people are going to say, well, you're going to pay taxes on capital gains. You're going to pay taxes on capital gains. Yeah, you're going to pay taxes because you're making money. If you make money, you pay taxes. Stop going with that tired argument that I don't want to pay taxes. If you don't want to pay taxes, then fine, don't make any money in the market and go broke. But if you don't mind having a little bit of extra money from the crypto market, then you've got to protect those profits here and there. And when something like this happens, this is the perfect time to protect it.
And what you're seeing right now with Solana is people taking profits, which they really
That's
should.
it.
And
You're
now
seeing
what you're going
people
to
at the
see,
120 mark taking profits down. It's drawing back. Other people are seeing
and
that happen, and you might be able to, like you said, catch Solana under 100 in the next 48 hours, and then this thing's going to turn back around. It's a guarantee. Like we've said, we've got the perfect storm brewing, and this is a cornerstone of the crypto market.
shout
So
out to
Solana's
Nazar. We
good.
are going to talk Voyager at the end of the show. We promise. We're going to give out some more information, and we'll reiterate it's not a good situation, but we'll explain though. I think we're guaranteed to have an update in January, and I'll talk about why, and we'll give out some numbers into the show. Really quickly though, I want to talk about Muse because Mr. FOMO, we brought this up last week and it did very well, right? We talked about this, the market cap, if you want to show the chart, it's a super low cap. So if you missed that show, I would take a look at Muse. And if you could pull that chart up for us right now, we're
Yeah, that's
sitting
fine.
on a 7 million market cap. That's right. Just 7 million, folks. And it was barely at 6 when we mentioned it, right? And so it had gone all the way down right after the show to 9. And now we're seeing it just updated here on my screen. It's showing 14 on that. I'll refresh because I've got it 13 on mine.
Yeah, look at that market cap is still only 7 million
here. Oh, yeah, it's updating here in real time. It fluctuates a lot. Yeah, 7 million. Still a great value. And what I love about this one is just the fact that there's a little over 1 million tokens available for I mean, that's insane. So again, this one, I feel like if you haven't taken a look at it, please do take a look at it because I think right now, and it is a NFT music token. I think it's 7.2 million. You could be very, very happy in the next 2 to 3 months by holding on to this and then taking profit when you see fit. So I just wanted to bring that up because
and we've talked about the importance of the marriage of blockchain and music and getting profits back for these musicians and these artists and these creators. Something that was basically stolen from them 20 years ago. Now, with the security of blockchain, you have the ability to take that back. So we think music NFTs and music blockchain is going to be a big thing. You've already seen it with Audius. I think Muse, with that small market cap, like you said, is going to make a big run. And it already has since we talked about it. You can see there that weekly chart is really green since we talked about it. So it pays to watch the show. And we thank those
absolutely. So please share when you can.
thanking us.
Yeah, absolutely. Please share and help us out. I want to give the viewers, because we're getting close to the new year, a little bit of a late Christmas gift here, Mr. FOMO. So let's go ahead and let's give them a new one that I kind of like here. And it is probably one that you've not heard of before. It goes by ELA, Elastos. Now, this one market cap is a little bit higher than Muse. So just, take that into consideration. We're sitting right now at 76.3 million. However, circulating supply, listen to this, Mr. FOMO, is only 20 million, and that's 72% of the supply. So that's good. It recently got added to the easiest way to get onto crypto, which is Coinbase. That's good. And so this is another one here. The all-time high was $93.96. We're now staring at $3.88. So as we get this bit of a dip in Bitcoin, these are the type of tokens you can pick up and then in 60 days, sometime in the next 60 days, easily see a 2x here. Okay. Now, given these are not high market cap tokens, these come with a little more volatility and danger, right? Because this is, if I go to the website here, it talks about being, the next generation of the digital universe. Do I think it's going to be that? Probably not. But this is something that you can pick up easily. And this is something that I think has definitely some room to grow, right? So if I find the all-time high chart here, you really can see where we are. Yes, we are in a bull run, but we're still early. So if you put that all-time chart up really quickly for our viewers, just so you guys can get a picture here, that's the all-time high chart, okay? So that gives you an idea if this thing comes back from the dead like the Undertaker, you can ride it up over the next couple months. So I wanted to give you guys that one as well.
And so the thing that just on I did a quick search while you were talking, and the team that's working on this, and the I guess technology dates back to 2000, if I'm reading that right, and they switched this over to blockchain in 2017. So there's definitely experience there. And like you said, it's Web3. They talk about a big game about being the future, but there's a lot of competition out there. However, that small market cap, their positioning, I think they're primed to do at least get back to those all-time highs, right? I mean, if you've got
That'd
that
be
kind of
amazing.
experience, that kind of technology behind
I mean,
your group, it should be,
I mean,
and we also talked about this next bull run emphasizing utility over flashiness. I hope that comes true. And so
well,
if this really does have that kind of utility, I hope to see that rewarded in the next bull run as well.
if you talk about an all-time high, you're talking about going over $93, and not right now you're under $4. And right now the daily volume, we're sitting at 3.8 million. Not great, but the market cap's only 76.3 million. So
those are Terra Luna numbers before that Ponzi crash, right?
So here, you think about Elastos, you think about Muse. Those are ones you're not going to typically see on most crypto shows. That we're really trying to diversify and give you guys as much as we can. Mr. FOMO, you also had a pick for our audience as well. Go for it.
Yeah, let's talk about what this is. One that we've talked about before, and I want to bring it back up because I still think that it's got a lot of room to run, and that is the EFI token, EFI Affinity token. And this is a metaverse token, and I know a lot of you are rolling your eyes. Oh, metaverse, that's the last bull run. I don't think so. I think metaverse, and again with utility, will be important. And now when I mention utility, EFI is the metaverse token for Engine Coin. And Engine Coin is in gaming, NFTs, game, like they literally are a AAA rated gaming studio. And so when you have that kind of a partnership with this gaming studio, you build in or bake in that utility. And what they are is it's basically the platform where these people can trade the NFTs that they use in game, skins, weapons, accessories. Not only can they trade these, they can build them up within the games and then trade them. These things have actual value. It's not like playing Fortnite or some of these other games where you buy these skins or you get these skins or you get these accessories and they do absolutely nothing for you in game. These accessories will have value to the user, not just to the company. And so this metaverse that they're building is going to be the place where these people come out of the silos of their own games, and then they can trade these skins and accessories with each other and with the avatars from other games. And so now you open up each of these games to the people who are playing all the other games, and you really draw in the whole Engine universe into this metaverse, and you have really people trading in-game weapons, accessories, skins, things that will help them in the games, things that will help them in real life because they have real life dollar value. These Engine NFTs can be melted down and turned into Engine coins. So they all have intrinsic value. And so I think that this metaverse, EFI, is going to have that kind of utility that we talked about in this bull run. Also, it's metaverse. Also, it's linked to gaming. And look at that market cap. That market cap is $70 million.
Not bad.
$70 million is, if it goes, you 10x, it's only 700 million. We're not even talking about $1 billion market cap at that point. So this is a realistic 10x based on the marriage with Engine, based on the fact that it's in gaming, based on the fact that it's metaverse with utility. I think this is one that you really need to take a look at, especially because it's number 443 on CoinMarketCap's list. We're not even talking about a top 200 coin, and its partnerships are real, and it's going to keep getting better for this token. So I think, I'm sorry for bringing a token up that I brought up before, but if you look, since the last time we talked about it, we've seen some pretty good gains, and I only think that's going to get better.
I wanted to give great choice, Mr. FOMO. Thanks for bringing that up. I wanted to give a Voyager update because a lot of people have reached out, and let's do a little bit of Voyager here. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot to give you, but share that screen for us, please. That's really important because a lot of you have reached out. And here's the guy right here that you need to get a hold of. That's not returning calls. That's not giving information. That's not updating the website. His name, I'm sure you remember, is Paul Hage. Now, Voyager's people, look at those contact information. This guy, it's been 60 days, 63 days since mediation started with FTX, has not given one mediation update. And they said, well, we're not going to update you till there's a resolution. So after 60 days, tell us, is mediation continuing? Did it fail? Are you setting up a court date with FTX Alameda? None of that information has been given. And people are.
I don't think he really understands
No, he has no sense of
the idea of the update. Like if you tell us what happened in court at the end, that's just the conclusion. We'd like an update every so often so we know what's going on, so we know what to anticipate. It gives your creditors peace of mind. That's what we're looking for. And so just waiting
email here
gets everybody on the needles.
If you guys are listening, and we're going to put Voyager in the title, we've got the email right here. We've got the phone number. Reach out to this gentleman and reach out to his, to his entire group and let them know that you're not happy with the communication. It's not okay when you're holding hundreds upon hundreds of millions of dollars of customer money and you're not keeping them updated on what's going on. It's not, just because you pulled off initial distribution, which, by the way, had a lot of problems, does not mean that you can just assume people are going to go away. And that was the assumption, right? That people are going to be quiet and shows like us would stay quiet. Maybe we haven't made enough noise recently. We've tried to kind of move on with our lives, but keep our eye on this in the distance. But now it's time. Nothing has been given, and that's ridiculous. People want to know, right? Tell us the truth, right? But don't try to trick people. That's it. By being silent, it really makes you look bad. So let's call him, let's email him, and this is his job. His job
is always in the description. His contact information, Invest Voyager's information, the court docket that's on the Invest Voyager website, all of those you can find in the description below. So make sure you're taking advantage of that information, especially if you're frustrated. If you are frustrated with this process, get on the phone, get in contact with these people, get on your email, get in contact with these people. Let them know how frustrated you are, because ultimately it's the squeaky wheel that gets the oil in this industry. They're not going to respond to us until we respond to them in mass. Like as soon as we all get together and start blowing up their phones, they'll give us an update because it's inconvenient for them to have their phones blown up and their inboxes full of these Voyager emails. So we will get an update, but we've got to take action.
Yeah, unfortunately, got to take action. So hopefully this show helps us get better answers quicker. All right, Mr. FOMO, we got an exciting pre-New Year show coming up that you guys do not want to miss. Please support the show when you can, hitting that like and that subscribe button, share the show, help us get to 2,000 as we go strong into the year 2024. For Mr. FOMO, this is AZcrypto. Have a great day, everybody.
See ya.